Good afternoon, everyone. I am Minseo Kim, an applications engineer at Formlabs. I've seen the amazing presentations from other companies this morning and the afternoon. I'm sure you have seen those great software and the hardware from them. Now, I would like to talk about how you can bring the digital file in your software and in your laptop into the real world. Formlabs, we are dedicated to bringing people's idea to tangible products. Today, I'm going to share with you how our customers use Formlabs 3D printers, and you will be surprised by the fact that the 3D printing is already in your daily life. So let me give you a brief introduction to Formlabs. There was a young MIT student in 2011. His name is Max, and he was very interested in manufacturing technology. During his study, he realized that it was very costly and difficult to bring an idea to a real tangible product. Traditional manufacturing methods were too expensive for individuals, professionals, or small or medium-sized business to make something they wanted. So the industrial-grade SLA 3D printers at the time had good quality, but they were also very expensive and huge. He believed that the cost of bringing an idea to the real world shouldn't be so expensive. So he decided to make an SLA 3D printer that is more affordable and has good quality. It wasn't easy to start a business, and many investors are more interested in AI and computer science rather than 3D printing at the time. Luckily, he had a chance to meet a potential investor in a restaurant who was very interested in 3D printing. So the meeting was very successful, and that's how his printer could come out to the world. Starting from Form 1 in 2012, Formlabs has continued to change the way things are made. With our desktop SLA printer, many people could have access to make something that was in their minds. They can 3D print things that have high quality as an industrial grade 3D printer with reduced lead time and cheaper costs. In 2019, we have launched Form 3 and Form 3L. With Form 3L, people can print something bigger. It makes people think bigger and dream bigger. We also helped medical industries with our Form 3B and Form 3BL. Our medical and dental users help their patients with Formlabs printed medical devices, surgical guides, and so much more. In 2021, we expanded our material portfolio to SLS material by launching Fuse 1 and SIFT. And this year, we launched our Form 3 Plus and 3B Plus. We reduced printing time and increased the quality by updating our hardware and software. We are constantly dedicated to expanding access to digital fabrication so that anyone can make anything. We have sold 100,000 printers to our customers in the world so far. With our 3D printers, more than 100 million parts are printed, which help a lot of people in the world. There are many companies using our printers to bring more value to their customers. For example, we helped Gillette, Tesla, and New Balance. You can see that they are all from different kinds of industries. The reason we could do so is because we have various materials from general purpose to engineering, dental, jewelry, and medical. The wide range of materials enables us to support the different industries and different customers' needs. We also have nylon powders for our SLS 3D printer customers. You can 3D print long-lasting, durable, end-use parts and functional prototypes with our SLS 3D printer. When people think of 3D printing, many people think of this FDM 3D printer. I'm sure you have seen this type of 3D printer on the news or on the internet. It uses plastic filaments, and the printer melts the filament, stacking layers to make a 3D part. Formlabs use different technology from FDM. We use SLA and SLS. What's SLA and SLS, and what's the difference between these two? Basically, both use lasers to make a 3D part, but laser in SLA cures the liquid resin or liquid plastic to make a 3D part. On the other hand, the laser in SLS printer fuse the powder to make a 3D part. So SLA 3D printer will allow you to have very high smooth surface finish and very high dimensional accuracy. And it also comes with a wide options in materials. On the other hand, SLS 3D printer will allow you to have end user parts without any support on your parts. Batch production is also available, and the cost per part is cheap. There are a lot of 3D printers and companies in the 3D printer market right now. And according to a market research company called Context, the 3D printer market can be categorized into a few sections. There are some 3D printers in hobby and personal level, which are at the right-hand side. And if you are using 3D printing at home for your hobby, then these printers will be a good option. And there's the professional level, which is at the middle. And there's also design and industrial level on the left-hand side, which are very expensive. So usually big enterprise will look for this option. Formlabs, we are aiming at the professional market, and we are also able to satisfy both hobby level users and the industrial level users in terms of price and the quality. Our company is growing fast. The diagrams you see on this slide, the worldwide revenue sharing among the professional 3D printing industry. These companies are the top 4 companies in the professional 3D printing section. Formlabs used to take a quarter of the market share in 2020 Q2, and last year Q1, we are able to take almost 1/3 of the market share. Okay, so that's all about our company and how we have been doing so far in the 3D printing industry. Let's move on to some of the 3D printing applications that you might be interested in. Black Diamond Equipment is a company who creates innovative climbing, skiing, and mountain gear, and they're known for their comfort, durability, and performance products. Their team goes through a rigorous design, testing, and iteration process before they come to market. And in order to do so, the company outsourced the manufacturing of full-size prototypes for everything from climbing helmets to emergency tools. But it can also slow down innovations as the company waits for third parties to deliver full-size prototypes, and it also increased the production costs as well. So they use our 3D printer in their prototyping process. And as you can see on the left-hand side is the 3D printed full-size helmet, and on the right is the actual product they are selling right now. 3D printing really allows them to reduce the lead time more than a half and reduce the cost from $425 to only $90. This helps them to do more iterations during product design and development process so that they can launch a better product that their customer wants. Tapestry is a modern luxury fashion house, is another good example of faster and cheaper prototyping. It's the parent company of 3 major brands, Coach, Kate Spade, and Stuart Weitzman. The 3D team at Tapestry employs 3D printing workflow to communicate the design intent as well as mechanical functionality to speed up the time to the market. Tapestry benefited greatly from 3D printing to meet the demands of the fast-paced fashion industry, enabling the team to turn around prototypes overnight, which is faster and most cost-effective than relying on overseas factories. And their designers also benefit from the flexibility and the speed of the technology offers by being able to make more informed decisions more quickly. Is 3D printing only for prototyping? No, it's not. It can be used for end user part as well. Qmute is a company based in Michigan that helps cities and mobility service providers bolster their transportation infrastructure. Now, Qmute was designed for micromobility, defined as transportation with lightweight vehicles such as bikes and e-scooters. All cities rely on transportation to function, and micromobility paves the path for quicker, more efficient transit, and that's why Qmute aims to address while being affordable, convenient, and environmentally conscious. They also use FDM printers for prototyping, and once they're happy with their design, they move on to production with our SLS 3D printer called Fuse 1K from a company called Vital Auto. They are industrial design studio with deep expertise in automotive design. They work with major automotive manufacturers such as Volvo, Nissan, Lotus, McLaren, and many more. And with the SLS 3D printer Fuse 1, they were able to venture into their first SLS technology. But now they would now set up a 5 Fuse 1 on their site. With the introduction of Fuse 1, they were able to produce structural mechanical parts very quickly, not only for testing, but for physical applications. These parts would have been would have to be CNC machined, which would have taken 2 to 4 days. But with the SLS 3D printer, the part can be made in-house in less than 24 hours. That doesn't mean that Vital Auto replaces everything with the additive manufacturing, but rather continue to use a variety of technology combining additive and subtractive manufacturing. And even combining different methods of additive manufacturing, what you see here is a combination of both printed on our large format SLA 3D printer and the SLS parts of the Fuse 1. The team mainly used the Fuse 1 for mechanical parts such as door hinges, door handle, and structural applications. They can use these parts straight out of the printer with the minimal finishing. New Balance. Everyone knows New Balance. They also use our 3D printer to print the midsole of the New Balance shoes. This is an end user part and not a prototype. This was done in a partnership with New Balance and Formlabs. So 3D printers are seen to be used for really functional, demanding applications as well. Recent 2 years, everyone suffered from COVID, and when the COVID outbroke, there were not enough COVID swabs. The current and impending supply chain shortages also make the situation worse. Formlabs was able to help this pandemic situation too. So over the span of 1 week, the team from USF Health and Northwell Health worked together to develop a nasal swab prototype and test in their labs. In 2 days, USF Health and Northwell Health developed prototypes using Formlabs 3D printers and biocompatible autoclavable resins. Formlabs helped them to 3D print 100,000 COVID swabs per day at Formlabs Ohio printing facility. Formlabs has partnered with healthcare systems, medical device manufacturers, and governments all over the world to help them print their own swabs locally and become self-sufficient during the COVID-19 pandemic period. It's not the story only for USA, it happened in Asia too. In Singapore, Formlabs and its distribution partner I2I work closely with Singapore government to 3D print COVID swabs. National Additive Manufacturing Innovation Cluster in Singapore and National University of Singapore and National University Hospital worked together to design and validate the swabs, and we were able to provide full-scale production facility in less than 2 weeks. They finished the design, testing, and validation process within 2 months. They produced 30,000 nasal swabs per day, which eased the shortage of COVID swab situation in Singapore. 3D printing is also applicable in the dental industry as well. Ashford is the largest orthodontic laboratory in the UK. It produces 1,200 clear aligners and retainers in a month, running a fleet of 12 3D printers. Formlabs is in entertainment industry as well. I'm sure some of you have seen this show Stranger Things on Netflix. In season 2, they had to create this creature you see on this slide. Aaron Sims, the agency, digitally designed the model, but actually brought Formlabs printer in-house so that they could produce the model, 3D print it, and have it just ready for them available. So they could just 3D print this creature and then show it to their directors like within a day. And this just changed the things for them because they didn't have to wait, and there isn't a need outsource anymore. So it's a very quick way to validate the design and validate the character rather than sculpting them traditionally using clay. You can see how delicate and amazing part you can get through 3D printing from this slide. This is a face of Superman painted after 3D printed. Isn't this amazing? So how can you use 3D printer at your work to boost up your business? So Formlabs provide very simple and intuitive workflow so that anyone can make anything with our 3D printers. We have a whole ecosystem from printing, washing, and curing. So the printer will do all 3D printing for you. And our washing machine will remove all the leftover liquid resin or liquid plastic. And curing oven will improve the mechanical properties and make sure there's no more leftover resin on your 3D printed part. So I'm sure many of you use the CAD software. You can use any CAD software in the market, SolidWorks or Fusion 360. So just grab your CAD file and spend more time on the design rather than thinking of the productions, because 3D printer will do everything for you. So just export your CAD file into OBJ or STL format and import to our software called Preform, and you can play around with it. And this software is completely free. So if you are interested, you can go back home and you can download on your laptop. And then just set up the print, and that's it. So you will get the 3D printed part within a few hours, and it will really help you to make the better prototyping process, reduce the lead time, and also reduce the cost to bring your idea to the market. And our Form 3 Plus is our SLA 3D printer, starts from $6,500 US. So many people are quite surprised that you can get such a good quality 3D printed part at such a affordable price. And if you want something bigger, you can use our Form 3L, which is a large format SLA 3D printer. It starts from $16,000 US. And you could get the industrial grade quality part in your hands. So that was all for today, and I hope you enjoyed the 3D printing. I hope you give some insight to use 3D printing in your business and in your company. Thank you.